What's up, family? How are you? I am Yali, and I make biblical content from the Hebrew Israelite perspective whenever I get good and ready to make that content. But today we got to take a bit of a step back. Today is not so much a Bible lesson as much as it is a story time piece about a gripe that I had. Yes, the effervescent glow of this term that's been circling the world for about 10-ish years now or something like that. Maybe even a little bit longer. Grand Rising. A little bit of backstory. About 10 or so years ago, before my daughter was born, there was something that was becoming so popular and prevalent, and it was, I guess you would describe it as the Black conscious community, the Black identity consciousness movement. I don't know what you would call it. We just call it the conscious community. And out of the conscious community comes a couple of things, namely this good morning queen, grand rising type of language that comes mostly from the Kemetic or Cometian, or a popular term that people use today is Hotep. Those Hoteps. That Hotep. He's a Hotep. It predominantly began in the Egyptologist community that just kind of branched out into other facets of the world, not undifferent than a lot of the things that Black people create. But now it's become so popular that a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about it. And for me, it's a little bit of a nuisance, not because I cannot appreciate the demure or whatever you young folks are talking about now. The intention or context behind it is fine with me. That's not my issue. The issue with me is that the reason a lot of these brothers and beautiful brothers and sisters have gotten away from just saying good morning is because they believe somewhere down the line good morning somehow means I'm wishing death on you. Now, I love my people as much as the next man who loves his people loves his people. But one thing that my people, we have a big problem with is reading, okay? A lot of people seem to believe that I am antagonistic and obnoxious and egotistical, and some might even would say that I'm the greatest mind of my generation. I'm just kidding. No one would ever say that, because the internet and the people around me are just haters, bro. They're full of, they got that hateful spirit on them, you know? But the context behind this is simply put that we want to change the narrative of the way we speak to our people, specifically our women, our sisters, our mothers, etc. And we want to do away with this thing we perceive as negative. First of all, what you have to understand is the English language is a smorgasbord of many other languages. Okay, we got some Spanish, or even a little bit of Hebrew, but mostly German. Now, before we get into this, it is very important for me to read to you what I'm about to read to you, okay? We gotta get this for context. I'm gonna look over here and read it. So follow me. You feel me? Follow me. Is Old English related to German? Yes. Old English has some fundamental similarities to German because both are Germanic languages. Okay? Everybody see that? Very simple, right? So Old English and German are related. Now, let's look at the etymology of the word morning. M-O-R-N-I-N-G. First part of the day. Technically, from midnight to noon. The late 14th century. A contraction of mid-13th century morwengen, morganin. From morn, morwen. See? Morn. Let's click on morn, shall we? Morn. M-O-R-N. The first part of the day. The morning. Late 14th century. Contracted from Middle English morwen, morgen, from Old English marcien, margen, dative marren, or marne. So you see, that is the etymology of the word morning and morn, M-O-R-N. Okay? Now let's go to morn, M-O-U-R-N. The word morn, M-O-U-R-N, Middle English, mornen. Okay? Mornen. From Old English, mornan. To feel or express sorrow, grief, or regret. Bemoan long after. Also, be anxious about, be careful. You see? Different words. Sometimes as a collective, we conflate things that make it difficult for information to be counted as trustable on our end. It's just like how brothers and sisters in the MST of A, the Moorish Science Temple of America, have this belief that the word Islam means peace. No, salam means peace. Islam means to subject yourself to the will of the Most High. And a Muslim is a person who has subjected themselves to the will of the Most High. That's why the religion is referred to as Islam, but the people following the religion are called Muslim. Very simple, but I understand in English sometimes words kind of conflate with each other. We are so poetic with the English language, it's so moldable and malleable and sculptable that we just kind of give words whatever meaning they have. But every language is not like that, bud. And so when we get into this dynamic and conversation about grand rising, I get it. I understand the context. I fully agree with the idea that we should change the way we talk to our people, specifically our women, sisters, mothers, aunties, cousins, etc., nieces. But I am just not gonna do that on the false pretense that something means something it does not. But Yali, I just like to say grand rising. And that is perfectly fine. Don't stop saying grand rising if it makes you happy. Just don't think that it has anything to do with mourning like to be sad. It's not accusing someone or wishing ill or anxiety or sadness or death on anyone to say good morning. Mourn and maorn are not the same word. Okay? But I am Yali, and I make biblical content from the Hebrew Israelite perspective. And I make that content whenever I get good and well ready to make it. If that interests you and topics like this make you feel good inside, hit that comment section down below with any questions you have, hit the like button, and subscribe if you're into this sort of thing. But all praise is to the God of our fathers who strengthens us. Enjoy your day.